Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was like something like.
No, I don't know.
Good morning, everyone.
Afternoon, evening, one or the other.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, turn that camera off. Well, it feels like morning to me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Cabeas. This is the zoning board meeting here. Our chair is not here today, so I will be trying to muddle through this as well as I can. I want to introduce the other members here. Mr. Himmel, Mr. Rydell, Mr. Chin, Mr. O'Brien, not in that order. Jay Duker is here. He has inspectional services, and our clerk, Ms. Murphy, is here. If anybody has a cell phone, which like I do, for example, can you turn off the ringer, please? That would be helpful. If you have to talk amongst yourselves, and you do it out there, because it gets kind of loud in here, that would be good. And if anyone's going to testify tonight, come up and talk to us, please rise. You have to swear you in. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, but nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, you're welcome. So, let me first start off by having a motion. Shall we do motions here?
I guess I will.
To not have to give minutes of the last meeting, which was September 27th. A motion to waive the reading of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting, September 26th.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, guys have, thank you. New business, matter number 16-062, Cantel Cattle for a variance to increase the building square footage by 370 square feet by enlarging the existing interior mezzanine on the premises numbered 377 Road Street. We got a request today from the ward counselor who would like to hold a neighborhood meeting on it, and so they would like us to continue this. And that's what we're going to do, continue it to November 15th. So November 15th, if you hear that, you're going to be out of town. Sorry. Shall we go ahead?
Can we overrule the council?
Only in November. The first Tuesday of the month, I think.
You could call.
You would call.
Mr. Chairman, regarding case 16-062, I'd like to make a motion to continue the case until November 15th.
Second.
And motion seen on all those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. So that's rescheduled for the 15th of November. Thank you all. We're going to jump to matter 16-065, which is Anmore Sterling Construction and Development for a special permit floodplain variance to build two townhouse structures in the floodplain with a enclosed garage on the premises number 13 Kilby Street, Quincy. Again, I have a request from the ward counselor to continue that hearing so that they can have a community meeting. And that too will be November 15th.
Mr. Chairman, regarding case 16-065, I'd like to make a motion to continue this case until November 15th.
Second?
On a motion seen, none, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay. Now, real business. Matter number 16-063, Robbie Stronary for a finding to extend the porch in the front setback on the premises number 64 Ocean Street in Quincy. Is the applicant or their counsel here? Come on up. And stand over there and tell us what you want to do.
So I'm Ravi Chaudhary, and I'm the owner of 64 Ocean.
And you live there too?
I'm the owner and the resident of 64 Ocean Street since over 15 years now. Pretty much like my kids and everybody live up there, and this is my first time coming here, so if I excuse me if I
Sure.
do anything that's against the protocol. So I just submitted an application to extend my porch. my neighbors have slightly bigger porch than I do, and I see them like in a nice summer day. Mr. Ostergaard, for example, who's my next door neighbor, he's retired, so he sits in the porch and enjoys the nice summer days. And I think I'm getting in there, so I just like to extend the porch as well. And my goal is to sit outside and just enjoy the nice summer days.
So, let me ask you one question. You don't want to close this porch eventually, do you?
No, that's not
That's all right. So,
It's definitely
some members of this board don't like people closing their porches.
no, I mean, that defeats the whole purpose of just like sitting outside and enjoying a nice summer day.
Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
This time.
Now this time.
Do you want to just take a seat for a minute?
Thank you.
Do we have any correspondence? We do?
We do.
You don't have to go that far back, no. But I'm gonna get to you, oh, okay.
It's about this.
Are you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
favor or opposed?
I don't know. I need a clarification.
Okay, well, that's good. Let me just read this and say that the Department of Public Works has no comments at this time. Does anyone else want to speak in favor? Once, maybe twice, three times before that, public meeting over, hearing over. Undecided or opposed? Come on up and tell us.
We live right next to Robbie, and we have a beautiful view of the ocean. And we're afraid, my husband and I have lived there for 40 years, and we are concerned with our view being disrupted. I'm concerned as well about him, or anybody enclosing the porch. I'm not sure how far out he's gonna come from the house. These are concerns that we have.
Okay.
So he's not extending out. He's
So he's
extending
just
the
going
width.
down?
Yeah, he's extending the width of his house, so it's not
Okay.
coming out any further. He's
Okay.
extending
So
it,
the existing porch will just be continued down?
continued down the front of his house. It's the same width, correct? Same width. The drawings have the same width. It just goes, same depth, but the width is gonna increase by 12 feet.
So there'll be no windows, no screens, no,
Definitely. I can guarantee, no windows, no screens, nothing. It's just extending it on the side.
We can make that restriction.
We can actually make
They
that
would,
restriction.
like,
You wanna see a drawing?
We can make the restriction too, George.
So here's,
what?
We can make the restrictions, so it won't be enclosed.
Okay.
Yes,
here's the
yes.
existing.
By screens or anything?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Here's the existing.
Not an issue.
Right.
And this is the extension. So he's just like all your neighbors have, like you probably even.
Well,
know.
yeah, but I mean, I don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
I want to see the
It's
water.
just, it's the same extension.
Okay,
The view will not be the,
well, if
In
it
any
is
case,
what's coming
I want to see the ocean.
All
I want to view the ocean.
right, here we go.
Ma'am, before you leave, I need your name and address.
Dorothy Osterguy, Ostiguy, 62 Ocean Street.
Retired. Retired.
Retired.
Put that in there too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's our porch, yeah.
I can give you this.
Okay.
Well, I'm okay with this. I think, it's a nice neighborhood. There's a lot of porches there.
Perfect.
I like my porch.
It's just you know.
I'll be filling stage.
I know.
How about you,
That's
sir?
what we want.
Agreed.
Okay.
Likewise,
And they will not.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor.
You want to put the restriction in?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. There's no windows, no screens, no enclosing.
No enclosure. We're putting a note on that. He can't enclose it, so.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, regarding case number 16-063, Ravi S. Shadradre for a finding to extend the porch on the front setback of the premises number 64 Ocean Street, Quincy, I would like to make a motion to grant the requested finding, subject to the stated restriction not to be enclosed in any manner.
Second.
The motion, seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
All set.
Thank you.
Take care.
Do I get something?
I'll send you something in the mail, but it'll be a few weeks. Okay?
Thank you.
Matter number 16-064, Quan Lin for a variance finding to change the existing single-family home to a two-family home on the premises number 48 Newton Avenue, Quincy. Is there petitioner or the representative here? Good evening, you can just state your name and address for the record.
Bernadette Kenny, attorney for the applicants.
Good evening, Jim Chen, I'm the architect.
This sounds an awful lot like the one that we said, or was about to say no about last time. Is that incorrect?
That is not incorrect. We were here, this is actually our third.
Did we change anything?
Event here. Oh, we've changed quite a bit.
Okay.
We're requesting relief from the alteration non-conforming, this section, parking setbacks and turning radius, and table 4.0 dimensional requirements. Our most recent application requested that we allowed for a 0.48 at the ratio of total floor area to, total floor area to lot area, where the requirement was 0.40. We are down to, in our new proposal there, 0.41. So we reduced it considerably. The existing non-conforming setbacks, we don't propose to change the footprint at all. We're looking at minimum yard setback, the front and side left and side right remains the same. And with regard to parking setbacks, we propose to put 4 parking spots in the back of the premises. And there's a setback on the, facing the property on the left side. We have only a 0.5 setback for 15 feet. So we've reduced it considerably. We've taken the attic off, where at one point the owner had hoped to put some extra space there, office or playroom type space. Actually, the cameraman made a suggestion it would be better to instead put a pull down or drop down. So we've done that. We reduced it to just 2 bedrooms on the second floor. So what it proposes is a betterment of the property. The first floor hasn't been done since the 70s. Going in there, doing over the first floor space without changing what exists, and then going up and putting 2 bedrooms in the back on the second floor as a rental unit. So a 2-family that's a lot of use there. I think we've tried to do what we can to sort of please everybody.
Two massive dormer with their, that one,
The proposed, yeah.
proposed one.
Yeah.
So that dramatically reduced the variance of the
Yeah. there was-
Could you speak up, because I can't hear anything you're saying?
We eliminate the shed dormer, the roof on the 3rd floor, so that at the street level, perceived as a much shorter building.
There was concern for that in the last meeting, that it was much too high sort of for the neighborhood.
Any questions, members?
Did you take the revised proposal to the neighbors that objected initially?
I requested with both the first application with the second and third to meet with the board council. And I didn't hear back from her. But that's how I wanted to organize a neighborhood meeting that way, but I didn't get a response.
And how about the neighbors themselves, the ones that objected when they come in? Did you meet with them?
Not since that time, no.
Okay, thank you.
I might, like I said, I had hoped to by way of meeting with the board council and getting together that way. I wanted to.
All right, thank you.
I know that we've been hearing about this project for a while, but if you want to come back again, after meeting with the board council, if you want to try that again, and maybe that would help the neighbors a little bit, that might be something you might want to consider.
Okay, I would certainly consider that, and is that something that's arranged? I understood that it would be arranged through the council.
Yeah, we still have to
Yeah.
track her down.
Or at
So-
least with the neighbors, and then especially with the neighbors.
Right,
Individual, if the ward council is not interested.
meet with them.
Individual, that's what I would suggest. We can't force you to do that, but.
Right. And if I may, what would be the process as far as the application goes? Is that a re-application process, or do we continue? Okay, okay, that's fine.
I think the big issues that, you know, I mean, obviously that your neighbors expressed the last time, we still have the same problem, whether or not, I mean, there's really no way to change the lot. You have a 7,000 square foot lot that is very narrow and skinny, and you have an interesting yard there in that you have a house basically in your backyard. And, you know, I believe it's your home, isn't it, ma'am?
My house and my neighbor Irene are,
Yeah.
they're side by side.
You access through that right away, correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
I think
My
that,
house, my picture window
You know, I mean,
currently is that.
Can I
Did-
clarify that? No, I don't know what you mean.
so, her, to the left of your property,
So if we're looking, yeah,
if you're looking at the house that your client owns, to the left, there's a right-of-way there where this
Right.
woman accesses her property. That's her only means of access. Essentially, her front yard now will be a parking lot, which is my big concern. I just don't find that this lot really works. I mean, it's the same problem that we had the last time. And you have,
we would have changed that, or, I mean,
that's what we discussed. That was one of the big issues we discussed with parking was the last time.
on this left side?
Does your building?
Not, I mean, visibility, yeah, I mean, it was, you know, what's gonna happen during the construction process, where, is there any difficulty with her accessing her property? And the fact that nobody's talked to her is, you know, I mean, is probably what this board is gonna look at first and foremost, is that either you or your client needs to sit down and have some type of conversation with those neighbors, and that was our big concern. That's why we were all against it the last time, because nobody had talked to them, and it wasn't gonna move forward in that manner. I mean, am I misstating it?
No,
That's
no.
how I remember it. I mean, I was a little delirious with my wife being
No, that was one
9
issue.
months, but.
Right.
But also my neighbor is concerned that
Okay,
it
all right.
is concerned.
One second, we're gonna give you a chance. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Holman.
I have a quick question. It looks like the corner of the exterior staircase and the corner of the existing garage. How many feet is that?
In the corner of the
Between
existing-
each corner of the exterior? These 2 points here, right?
That existing garage is coming down. so.
The garage is coming down? Okay.
Okay.
Will the trees stay there?
Hold on. Everyone's gonna get a chance, you guys can sit back. Anybody wants to speak in favor? Once, twice, 3 times. Had a letter from DPW. They've reviewed the submittal of the above referenced project, and their comments are as follows. 1, specify how much impervious area will be increased due to the development. Provide plans showing the existing proposed site conditions, layout of utility, grading, drainage, and construction detail. Explain how surface runoff will be discharged and treated. Upon completion of the project, as-built plans showing all utilities, building footprints, reference bounds, and benchmarks, and defining total site facilities and right-of-ways need to be submitted along with a digital file. And the as-built plan shall be stamped and signed by a professional land surveyor or professional engineer. Anybody wants to speak opposed or undecided?
I do.
Come on, right up, tell us your name and your address to the record.
Okay, I have my neighbor's letter here. Would you like to, I'd be happy to read it. My name's Joy Lester, and I reside at 44 Newton Avenue. Told my neighbor I would bring this letter, which I will give to you.
And yeah, what's her name and address?
Her name is Eileen Collier, and she lives at 42 Newton Avenue in Quincy. And it's addressed to the zoning board. I'm writing to inform you of my opposition to the change for a variance to 48 Newton Avenue, Quincy. I'm opposed to the paving of the backyard and assumed removal of the trees which help to block noise and view to the Haycock Street car wash and street traffic. With removal of the trees to make a parking lot, the view will open up the backyard to noisy Hancock Street. I would hope the owner would replace any shrubs or trees to help decrease issues with proper drainage. Newton Avenue is already overcrowded with cars. I am concerned with the number of cars to park in this small area of 48 Newton Avenue. Thank you for your consideration. Your neighbor next door, Irene Collier, 42 Newton Avenue. This is her
Thank you.
additional statement. She has another letter on the file with earlier objections brought up. And I did go down to City Hall and try to get copies, but I think I still have copies of the old plans because I don't have anything more current or updated from previously. With your new developments of reduced size, still shows the 3 stories being proposed. So I thought there was no change to the submitted plan here. I am still, I started to prepare a statement. We had a medical emergency at home, so my statement is not prepared as it was before to submit to you, but I will read what I have written and then continue kind of off the cuff if you will allow me. Good evening, members of the zoning board. My name is Joy Lester and I reside at 44 Newton Avenue in Quincy, where I have lived for over 30 years with my husband, Jim Boyd, and my daughters, Amanda and Emily, all of voting age, and who are all opposed to the proposed conversion of the single-family home at 48 Newton Ave to a multifamily unit. As I stated previously, the proposed building of a 3-story multifamily home would be monstrous in size in comparison to the homes around it. My home looks directly at the backside of the President's Motel, which is only 2 stories, and that looks terrible with zip land. It cuts off the horizon by half. My concern also is with regard to flooding. My driveway currently floods when there's heavy rains, and so if you were to asphalt that entire backyard for a parking lot, that would cause a lot of, it would reduce the amount of drainage that currently exists and would increase my flooding in my backyard, in my driveway, in front of my house. So that is another concern that wasn't raised in my previous letters, but I am bringing that up tonight. You know, just some thoughts about cutting down the trees and making bigger homes in general. I thought about, you know, a recent visit to East Boston and how the homes are literally built on top of each other. The asphalt goes from the front doorstep right to the sidewalk. There's no trees, there's no grass, you know, it's just all buildings, and I hope that you members of the zoning board will give some consideration that, you know, keep Quincy, Quincy. You know, we live here in Quincy, we've always lived here in Quincy because we liked the suburban feel with the proximity to Boston. But if you allow developers to just build these massive apartments and condos and whatnot without regard to the quality or the characteristic of the neighborhoods, I think we'd be making a big mistake. You know, we'd end up looking like in East Boston, and I just, you know, urge you to please consider that. You know, we've got plenty of housing stock. I understand there's like 3,000 buildings going up at this current time, so there's no urgency to create more housing. On Newton Ave, of course, of all places, which is already crowded. You know, I'd like to see it stay a single family. If they want to rent it out and update it and modernize it, that'd be great. If they want to create additional space on the existing footprint, you know, I don't think I'm entirely opposed to that because it's their property and they're entitled to do what they like with it. But I think I urge some consideration for the proposed project that they originally had, which, as I said, I was not aware that they were downsizing from 3 stories to 2. But, you know, I would certainly welcome some discussion on what's going on and how it's going to take place because, you know, with a half a foot, I think there's only a half a foot between your property and the right of way. So our construction ladder is going to be in the driveway over time. You know, it's a concern for me, it's a concern for my neighbor. And how is that going to, you know, play out? So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else undecided or opposed? Come on up, state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Moy, 15 Newton Ave. So my property abuts 48. And we've been to the zoning board, I think this is matter of time. It's either me or my husband. But we've lived in our home for 19 years, I think. Yeah. And I have 2 kids, 2 little boys, well, not so little anymore, 14 and 12. And we liked our neighbors who were there before, and we don't want to see it be a 2-family house because that would be more parking issues. Right now, we live on a dead end. There are already some multi-family homes on our street. Right across the street, there are 2 apartment buildings. I mean, they're nicely kept. But on our side of the street, I think there are 6 single-family homes. So if you could just kind of keep it that way. Parking is an issue, and I'm not sure about the plans, but, you know, if you rent it out, I don't know how many parking spaces are, I didn't see the plan, the new plans.
It's 4.
There's 4 in the back, and so on the first floor, are there 2 bedrooms on the first floor and 2 on the second? And then
Correct.
there's no 3rd floor?
No 3rd floor.
Okay, so that's at least 4 cars, right? But then if they have guests or if there's a couple, I mean, that's more than 4.
The zoning calls for the right amount of floor spaces, and that's what they're
Okay.
proposing.
Okay. And there's an issue with snow removal. Our street is always, because it's a dead end, it's very tight, and the snow removal equipment can hardly turn where we are, so to add more spaces, I mean, parking spaces, I know 4 is a requirement, but realistically, people are gonna park on the street too when it's convenient for them. Emergency vehicles, it's hard to turn. I think these issues have already been brought up. And we do have my neighbor Irene, and I think she was disabled, and that's a concern. And we have been there for a long time. All of us have been there for a very long time. And to have someone, again, they bought the property, use it as an investment property, but they, you know, they haven't taken the effort. I don't think they've even knocked on my door. Have they knocked on your door just to say
No.
hello? Now they've mowed the lawn because you complained the first time here that they never mowed the lawn. So now, definitely before each hearing, it's mowed. So for them, it's just a quick buck. And we have a nice little neighborhood going on. So I respectfully oppose the variance. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for the zoning board, if I can please ask.
Yeah, should I ask it from there?
Okay. When a home is a single-family home, do they have to request a variance to go to a rental property, or is that?
No.
No.
No, it's not. They
No,
can
so-
do that without permit, without,
Right, right. What we do here is we take care of buildings mostly, not how they own buildings, what they do with buildings. If it's a single-family house, it has to have 1 family. If it's a 2-family house, it could have 2 families. The definition of family is very much in flux.
okay.
All right, board members. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Hina Sangrani, and I live on 54 Newton Avenue, next to the dead end house, last one. And I live with my neighbor, we are in like street, we had a single family home. And there's a parking issue which they both had, stated earlier. And also, that's my house is always our dead end streets. In winter, is a parking issue, as they say. Like when the snowmobile come, they pile up, and when we pull out of the driveway. So it's already like a very small, narrow street. And we've been living there like past 13 years with my husband and my 2 daughters, 5 and 9 right now. So I agree that we should treat it as a single family house, and so much the parking issue and all that stuff. So I wasn't here for the last 2 meetings. This is the first time I came over here and getting information from my neighbor, Lisa Moy. So
Okay.
If we keep as it is in a single family house, I will appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just have a couple questions, just not really for or against, but
That's decided.
John Roadfield, 62 Brimwall Road. The question is, one, what is the lot size of this property?
6750.
6750, and the current house?
Oh, I'm sorry, 74,
What's the floor area that's currently there?
1 story.
I mean, basically, the question is, like, how much are they expanding? What's the current property? How many square feet
Well,
are the floor area?
what it would be.
0.27 to 0.41. Increase of 14%.
What's the total square foot of the, how many square feet are they looking to build? It's new construction, they're looking to build a new two-family?
Existing foundation, go up a story and a half.
So they're keeping the same foundation,
Correct.
and they're just going up
A story and a half.
a story and a half and just creating more square. So what is the total square footage of the property they're looking to do now?
Quick math.
It's 1,025 per floor, so essentially.
Yeah, 2100.
Yeah, 2100, that's the first one and second.
So the new project will be 2,100, so currently it's like 900? Am I
Currently it's 1100.
So 1,100 and you're going to 2,100. Okay, I just want to know what the numbers were. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else undecided or opposed? Once, twice, 3 times before that bloody hearing over. They've been here a bunch of times, and they've been here this is the third time. And it has changed. It is different, but I'm still not really crazy about it. And I don't see what the real, I mean, what's our basis for variance on this? I don't know. What do you gentlemen think?
Can I ask another question?
You can.
The architect, the elevation, does that change from the first drawing to the current drawing? The
Yes.
peak,
The dormer was removed.
what was the peak elevation previously?
The peak elevation, well, peak did not change, the dormer on both sides.
Okay, so it's still the same height, so the building is still the same height. All you changed was the usage of the third floor space.
Basically.
Okay,
Removed the
So
dormer.
is it still 34 feet?
yes.
34 feet to the peak.
Well, that's still pretty big.
Okay, thank you.
It's conforming though. It's not
Charlie,
what you're.
I'm so right, sorry.
Well, the issue that I see is the same, the neighbors keep going over the same questions over and over and over again, and that's the reason that we reluctantly allow this to keep coming back. The principal issue is that they have to live with it, and would like to see their concerns addressed. The trees, easy enough to address. If you have to take the trees down, you put new trees in. And the other thing is the construction of the project. Are the contractors gonna be respectful? Is there gonna be somebody that they can call if they're not being respectful of what they're doing? These are the questions that have to be addressed by the neighbors. This is critical. This is a very tight area in there. There's not a lot of room to move. That comes with the parking and the snow removal and the construction and the removal of the trees, and there's a lot of stuff going on in that neighborhood now. Now that the hotel's done, maybe some of them will calm down. But these questions the neighbors have and are raising should be addressed or at least considered. That's the way that I feel about it. And individually, I don't think you can just keep bringing plans back with minor changes in them and not address what they see as the issue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I look at the plan here, and I see that this lot is one of the narrowest, if not the narrowest, on the street that's shown on Newton Avenue. Sort of try to jam in a two-family, lengthwise instead of widthwise. Still sure that works there. I also see the parking lot in the back as being a lot of asphalt. And there's also that right-of-way that I'm assuming is paved over as well.
That's really other.
Yeah, on the other side of the house. So this house is going to be surrounded by a lot of asphalt and concrete there. Not real crazy about that, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the variance request, and it seems to be based on value to the owner.
That's not what we do.
It's not what we do.
So,
Sorry, I was checking on that green space. If you look there, we have the requested conditions, we have the area, we see what's required. It's at 1100 and it's 700. There's still considerable backyard space there, green space in the back, even with the additional parking, with paving for the parking. Right now, it's paved and there's a garage that would be raising that's going back there. So we're not changing. Our biggest change is going up to the space, to the lot. It's a permitted use on in that lot size. It's a permitted use in the zone, the zoning districts. And I think we've come back a couple of times, and my mistake that I relied on the counselor to get back to me to arrange a meeting. Right after our last meeting, I went right back and got back to her and asked her to contact me so we could all get together and discuss this and address what the problems were. And, I think we've really tried to do that. The owner wants to improve the property and, put in, nice new apartments there.
Thank you. Right now.
I get that it's an allowable use, it's Res V, just not every home in Res V, in my opinion, works for multifamilies. I think this lot is, to Russell's point, I think it's such a narrow lot, it's 40 feet wide, I mean, you're talking house, it's a big lot, 7,000 square feet, it's a good lot. If there was access from Standish Ave or from Hancock Street or some other access and have something else there, maybe, in my opinion, it might work. I just don't, I don't like the lot. Kudos to you for attempting to reach out, but we have concerned neighbors that care, and they care about things that matter to them every single day. Flooding, space, traffic. It's,
I think I did speak to this neighbor. Did you call me?
Me? I've never, no.
Next door on the
All
right
right,
side.
guys.
Stop.
Last but not least.
I think the build-out of this project would be a nightmare for the neighbors, especially to direct left with a right-of-way to get to the back property. I don't see how you could do it. I've worked on 1 million construction projects in the last 30 years. I hate to live next door here. It seems like it's not suited for the purposes being proposed.
Well,
and just so the neighbors know, if somebody wanted to redevelop this as a single family and go up, they still have to come in back in front, but the variance height, you can build a house to 35 feet if we approve it, So there's some facets of this, if it comes back as a single family, that, that they might be, living with. But maybe you'll be more tolerable if it was a single family. Maybe it is the multifamily aspect that you're looking at. It would still come in front of us because there's still, setback issues on your sides. But it's not just cut and dry that if somebody wants to go up, they can't, they can. So, with our permission.
well, board members, I think I'm opposed to this. And I'm opposed to it for many of the reasons that my fellow board members have mentioned today. I think it is a very narrow lot, and I'll be going against it.
you gotta give it the option to withdraw.
We could do that. So, what we're looking at, council step up. Please.
I think, I know we're given the option, but I mean, the fourth time you're gonna make these names.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
If it comes back in front of us, there better be a clear plan that all these people agree on, in my opinion,
Well, yeah, I agree with that. So I'm giving you the option, even though it's 4 times, to continue this. But I tell you, you have to reach out, you have to get the count. I mean, she's a very busy person, I understand that, but you have to get a hold of her. And you gotta have some sort of meeting with these folks over here. You could look at things again like, how are you gonna pave that backyard? Are you gonna use impervious pavers, for example? Things of that sort of nature. Maybe come up with us and tell us, you're gonna planting some trees and drainage, which the city's already asked for. But as my fellow board member says, it's a pretty difficult thing to develop it because there is that right of way right there. So if you want, I give you an option to withdraw I'm sorry, to post, to continue this. There's the option to withdraw if you want to.
To continue, please, to meet with the neighbors.
Dates for their summer.
I've done well,
No,
yeah, I think we have to go there,
Kirsten Hughes is the head of the Republican Committee, so she's gonna be busy there.
right? So it's,
November 29.
yeah,
29.
Yeah.
29.
November 29th.
Yes.
Okay.
Get a motion.
Mr. Chairman, regarding
Tuesday
case,
after Thanksgiving?
It is.
regarding case number 16-064, I'd like to make a motion to grant the continuance until November 29th, 2016.
Second. I'm not seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? See you November 29th.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Zach, 40 minutes.
And I tried to put this schedule cut in half.
Yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a nice.
Sorry to make you guys come back again.